Tell me about your experience in the stranger box. The stranger engager, as we like to call it.
Yeah, I engaged with a stranger and we talked about the lunches we had and our previous relationships.
I see.
And it was like very deep and also not deep.
What was deep and not deep?
So the deep part was how she told me about she was driving across the Bay Bridge. Are you recording her recording? Oh, no.
I'm not. No, she's not showing her dad. Yeah.
My stranger was driving across the Bay Bridge and she was feeling really sad about relationships while driving across the bridge. And she was confused as to why. And it turns out that it was her wedding anniversary with her ex-husband.
Wow.
And it was just like this sudden pang of sadness.
Aw.
That was the deep part. And the not deep part was I asked what she had for lunch, and she said she didn't have lunch today, but she had breakfast and dinner. So we tried to figure out like how to properly take a linear combination of those other two meals to create lunch. So she had a fried egg on a tuna salad.
So do you feel that you were helpful to your stranger?
Maybe.
Do you feel that your stranger was helpful to you?
Maybe.
I'm sorry, Zane is making crazy faces behind you.
These are way more difficult questions than what my stranger asked me. Just to say.
Okay. Zane, would you like to talk about your experience with your stranger now?
Yeah, I'd love to.
How was it?
It was good. At one point, the connection started to cut out a little bit, but not such that I couldn't hear him anymore.
And it was a feater, not a bug, of course.
Right, no, I could understand him perfectly, but his voice just sounded like a robot. So I went into a whole test, as you do, to make sure he wasn't a robot, and that he was actually a real person.
Like a Turing test?
The opposite of that. Yeah, no, that's wrong. Because the Turing test is when you are expected to decide if the other person is a robot or not. I was the one administering the test. So it was like the opposite of a Turing test. But anyway, I interviewed him on his opinions on love, which robots cannot feel. Also his opinions on relationships, robots cannot have, and his opinions on sustenance, robots cannot need. And all of his questions were actually unsatisfactory, so I'm convinced he was a robot.
Unsatisfactory. What do you mean? What is an unsatisfactory question?
His answers were
Oh, his answers were unsatisfactory.
So,
I see.
for example, I asked him what he needed to use for sustenance, and he responded with a question about my mom, which is not a valid answer.
Yeah. Sounds fake to me.
Yeah, no, totally fake.
So how would you rate your stranger engager experience?
What's the scale? Like 1 to 10? Is one high? Is one low?
From stranger to danger.
Stranger to danger. Yes.
I would say engager.
Engager. Okay. All right. Sweet. How would you like to discuss your experience in the box?
Well, I didn't really get to know my stranger very well. They just wanted to meet. So we just started talking, and it was just, where are you?
Like physically in space?
Yes.
Huh. And then they were like, I'm just going to come find you? Did you talk about anything?
Fuck you. Fuck your stranger.
Can't
my
curse on
stranger
camera.
was great. Well, the internet is limited in its distribution and memory capacity, so I'm not worried. That's all. Signing out.
The end.
Veronica
Gabby Gunn.
Flintstone.